Welcome to the Instrument Landing System training lesson. Go ahead and fly to the gate ahead at waypoint 1, maintaining about 300 knots. While you're flying towards waypoint 1, switch your gear light from off to the landing setting. This light is on your nose gear strut, so you won't see it until you extend the gear. You can change the gear light setting by pressing Right Alt L. The switch has 3 positions: off, taxi, landing, so you will have to press Right Alt L twice to cycle from off to the landing setting. Do this now. You're currently in nav steering mode, navigating to waypoint 1. After passing waypoint 1, you will automatically switch to waypoint 2. Waypoint 2 is your destination airport, and so you will also automatically switch from nav steering mode to Instrument Landing System Navigation (ILSN) steering mode. The Instrument Landing System provides steering cues to guide you down to the runway. You can manually switch to ILSN steering mode by pressing 1, but don't do that now. After passing waypoint 1, you'll navigate to a point called the Final Approach Fix, which is about 10 miles from the runway. This is the point where you will turn to align with the runway and begin the final approach. In the bottom right of your HUD, CSET links to tell you your course is set to the destination airfield. You're now in ILSN mode as indicated by ILSN on the bottom right of the HUD. Follow the navigation cues on your HUD or HSI, which will guide you to the final approach fix. There's no gate displayed at the final approach fix. Maintain altitude and throttle back to between 200 and 250 knots. Now let's contact Tbilisi-Locini Airport and let them know we're inbound. Press / to open the communication menu. Press F5 to select ATC, then F3 for Tbilisi-Locini. Note that in this menu you can request the azimuth to the airport, which is helpful if you get lost. When you notify the airport that you're inbound, they'll respond with navigation instructions to the final approach fix, and will tell you which runway to land on. You don't have to memorize the navigation instructions because your navigation computer is already guiding you. Notify Tbilisi-Locini that you're inbound now by pressing F1. Once you've received a response, press the spacebar to continue. Remember to stay between 200 and 250 knots. You can press / to close the communication menu. You've been told to fly at to pattern altitude, which is about 2,500 feet above the runway. Locini is at 1,575 feet elevation, so start descending to about 4,000 feet altitude. You want to arrive at the final approach fix at this altitude. Press the spacebar to continue. Once you're between 200 and 250 knots, retract your speed brake if necessary by pressing B. Then press G to lower your landing gear and F to lower your flaps. Check your left subpanel and make sure that all 3 gear lights and your flaps light are illuminated green. Maintain about 200 knots. Once you've passed the final approach fix, you'll be on the final approach. The cross is now displayed on your HUD called the Flight Director Cross, and it will guide you in. Steer the velocity vector to the Flight Director Cross. The course indicator on your HSI will now indicate the orientation of your assigned runway. When you slow down, the F-15 will automatically increase angle of attack, or AOA, to maintain level flight. Watch the AOA scale on the left side of the HUD, and throttle back until it rises to about 20. The higher AOAs, you also have a digital AOA readout on the bottom left of the HUD. Once you've reached an AOA of about 20 and have aligned the velocity vector with the director cross, press the spacebar to continue. Now use the stick to adjust AOA to 20 to 22. Try to hold this AOA all the way to the runway and use the throttle to adjust your altitude so the velocity vector overlays the director cross. If you are too high, throttle back, and if you are too low, throttle up. The throttle is slow to respond, so try to anticipate adjustments. You're trying to follow the glide slope, an imaginary line projecting down to the runway. If the glide slope is too far below you, GSDN will appear in the bottom right of the HUD, telling you need to go down to intercept the glide slope. GS up will be displayed if the glide slope is above you and you need to go up. There's a diagram of this in your briefing. Press left Alt B to bring it up. When the ATC asks you to contact the tower, open the communication menu, / and press F1 to request landing permission. This will instruct the tower to turn on the approach lights. Press the spacebar once you get a reply.
Infield 1-1, request landing. Infield 1-1, request landing.
A higher-pitched beeping indicates you're passing over the inner marker. If things aren't going well, this is the time to abort your landing and try again. When you're seconds from touchdown, gently pull the stick back to flare and reduce your descent rate, but do not level off. Smoothly retard the throttles to idle. After touchdown, use gentle rudder inputs to adjust your heading and raise the nose to 13 degrees pitch for aero braking. Do not exceed 15 degrees or you could scrape your tail. When you drop below 100 knots, gently lower the nose and apply wheel brakes by holding W. Well done. Continue to taxi down the runway and take the next taxiway to the right. Now that the aircraft is safely back on the ground, it is time to start preparing for shutdown. If you had turned your radar on, now is the time to turn it off. Next, set your gear light to taxi. Press right Alt L twice to cycle the switch to the taxi setting now. Continue to taxi to a parking spot of your choice. Anywhere you want to park is fine, and we will shut the aircraft down. Your taxi light is extremely powerful, so turn it off as you enter a parking spot as a courtesy to your crew chief. Press the spacebar to continue when you have parked.